All right, my recorder is on, and I have muted my.
Alright, this is Smokey, and I'm back, and this ain't a smoke room episode like I've been doing the last few episodes, but this just a shoot about the past, present, and the future of the threats of call. I'm just tired, personally, I'm just tired of these dumbass empty threats coming around and call, oh, this guy's doing this, I'm in call, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna hack you, I'm gonna call the cops on you, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's just a bunch of bullshit. My personal opinion is just a bunch of empty threats. I just feel it needs to be touched on this show. And my show is nothing but showing the truth and everything. So I just want to get off with saying that with all the drama that's been going on last probably the few days and in the past few years, for the matter of fact, I witnessed just about everything. And that's the reason I got Homer here. Say, hey, Homer.
Hello?
But that's the reason I got him here because he witnessed the same things I have witnessed in the past. He can vouch for me on everything I say on this episode. That they're always going to be a bunch of bitches who run around. It don't matter if you're a new guy, if you're an old guy, or if you're going to be a future guy that comes in the call trying to make a name for himself. It's always going to be some kind of hater that comes around making empty threats like I'm an end call. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. I'm greater than you. I'm better than you. Just because in a little mind they think that there's something, but in the reality, they really ain't shit because you got to work for what you got. You can't just come in here and think you can run shit.
Yeah, pretty much. And like you said, I've been here long enough to see a lot of people try a lot of things. I can't even count the number of times alone that somebody has tried to call out Danny to try to become somebody, and I don't think I've ever seen it be successful. So
Yeah, but it is a bunch of bullshit, and I say that in my own slang. It's a bunch of bullshit, and I can repeat it and repeat it, and it just means the same damn thing. You know what I mean? It's just a bunch of pretenders who trying to get the spotlight, but really can't get there. There's only certain people who can actually get to that certain height. You know, there's like me, and then there's you, Homer. And then there's guys like all the way down to the ground like Ryan, and then way below that there's the guys like ESPN kids, and there's
oh
way
my
below
god.
that what's his name SMF owns.
Oh my god. You're talking about Justin Gower. Holy crap. You're really going back.
I told you past, future, and present. I ain't lying here. I just want to let everybody know, that there's always gonna be some kind of threat. So if somebody tries to hack into your account, because my friend Carter just had his account attacked by some guy named Chaos. He keeps on putting descriptions in his links chaos or some kind of description about it, and it just reminds me of stuff like ESPN kids and SMF owns and even Finner. I even made that name up. Then that was a long time ago, but I even made that name up. It is a cycle that would never end. There's always going to be somebody who's trying to do some kind of dumbass shit, try to troll somebody. It just I don't never see where it was going to end. It just for real people who doing call that's actually, I can actually say that's actually important. We shouldn't stress about it, But I want to do this video to tell all the future generations of call people that you don't need to be stressing about this type of shit. We put down all this work for y'all to have a good time to do call. Homer, me, even Danny Jackpot, WEDF, Frank Dog, um,
Josh,
Ocean Jacks,
Herb.
Bird put a lot of if he was our expert. He or she was our expert troll back in the day, so she knows everything there is about trollism and all that other junk. So I suggest you not mess with her if you run into her. And Homer's just a multiple personality type person, so I wouldn't mess with him neither.
The thing is, I haven't really had a lot of personal people, like people personally try to do anything to me, but I mean, aside from the fact that, like you said, like I can pretty much snap on anybody in weeks' notice. I know people that I mean, it's like we're like a family. Like you can't mess with one of us and expect to not get responses from like everybody else. Like I feel like the people who've been here, and even the people that are like just coming up, that are doing this and like trying to actually do it. People like when I think of like people that are like that I've just now really gotten to know, like people like Loudon. It's like we're all kind of like a dysfunctional family, so it's like we'll mess with each other and we'll talk shit with each other, but you can't really try to come from outside of that and mess with one of us because. We'll get you. We'll make sure that you realize that that's a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. But me and you, me and you are expert. Me and you are a prime example. In other words, me and you are a prime example of people who hated each other, but we managed to work our ways, and we still family. We was friends to begin with, then we hated each other. We went through probably like a year and a half that we did not talk to each other. We did not do anything, but we were family and we worked it out, and that's the way it should always be. But there's always gonna be people who gonna run the mouth and try to hide underneath words. Like, as I was saying earlier on a few minutes ago, that like trolls like ESPN kids say are writing words or using that MS Sam or whatever kind of audio thing, saying that they're going to end call. It's always going to be, I don't care what kind of thing you do, there's always going to be some kind of threat. And I just want to make this video to, to speak to everybody because I feel like it needs to be spoke. Because ain't no need to be worried. If somebody hacks in your account, that means you need to be smarter about your password and stuff like that. This dumbass, this new craze that's going on, chaos or whatever. I can't remember it, but I remember Carter pointed it out to me earlier. But this new chaos craze. It just, how many times really? I'm gonna quote the me as really. Can you bring up chaos? That's the most overused quote in call. Chaos. Like, I'm gonna destroy you. Oh, I'm the end of call. I'm gonna kill you. Man, fuck you. If you want to get to the call, then get through guys like me. If you want to try to get through me, you're going to have to get through Homer. You're going to have to try to get through Ocean Jazz. You're going to try to get the Frank Dog. You're going to try to get through Carter. You're going to try to get the Loudon. You're going to try to get through the whole army. You ain't going to get through us. It don't matter if you try to end one of us. We'll still come back. And like I'm an expert veteran in this whole call thing. My stuff got ended before it even started. I was at 180 something subscribers before my first account got wiped out, and I still managed to back myself back up. So if any future threat wants to try to attack me, that's fine. Then bring it. I ain't scared of y'all. I ain't never been scared of anybody, and I won't start now, and I haven't started since. So, what are your thoughts about threats, basically? I know you ain't especially opinionated in it, but if somebody try to attack, like in an example, if somebody attacked you, how would you respond?
Like you said, like I don't have a lot of experience in this, and for the most part, I usually try like I'll try to stay like in the know of the big stuff, because sometimes you can't really avoid it. But for the most part, I usually don't really. Usually I don't really get involved with this kind of stuff. But from what I've seen and experienced, I think the biggest example that anybody can think of, like whether you remember it or not, was ESPN Kids. And as much as he was able to do to the community and to the people involved in CAW, I think that you really have to recognize that our group, it's not like a huge group, but it's big enough that you can't hit everybody because you have to hit everybody individually, and by the time you've taken out maybe you successfully take out 10 people, and then you're on to the next 10. Well, those 10 people are already back up and doing their thing. Like, you can't take everybody out at once, and there's too many of us to take everybody out to where it actually puts a dent. I mean, as much as ESPN Kids was able to accomplish, we're still around. And technically, I mean, I can't technically say that I was a part of the community in terms of anything involved, like having a CAW or a commentary or anything like that back when that happened. But the fans were still around, and the people that were doing it are still around. I mean, you were one of those people that was involved with stuff back then, and you're still around. And most other people are still around. Nobody really disappeared because of this. Nobody really disappears because of these threats. And so I just think that people need to realize that, whatever reason you're doing this for, it's not going to work. If you're doing it to try to shut everybody down, there's too many of us. If you're doing it to get yourself noticed, you'll get your 15 minutes of fame like everybody else does. But once that 15th minute is over, people are going to forget about you as soon as they remember, as soon as they first recognized you. So, there's really no just cause for any of this nonsense. And because, like you said, I haven't personally been attacked, I honestly don't know what I would do if I was attacked like that. I probably, I don't do anything in terms of leagues that I really take too seriously. I mean, maybe if somebody attacked my character in some way, I probably would do less than other people, without me asking. I've actually had people do stuff for me, without me even having to ask. So it's one of those things where, I have the friends that they have my back when I don't really care enough to have my own back. But I guess that's really what I would do. Like, I probably wouldn't do anything, but I do know people that, because there are people out there that they do care about, when people do these kind of things. And I'm not saying that I don't care when somebody attacks somebody else or when somebody tries to troll somebody. I just don't have I don't have the patience or I just don't care enough about the person doing the threats or the trolling to really give them the attention that they want. And for those people, and I'm not saying anything about the people that do respond or do react to those people, because sometimes people just need to be taken out. But I'm not one of those people, like, in reality, because, I mean, you've known me long enough that, like, in reality, like, if I can avoid a confrontation, then that's what I'm going to do, Because when we had our drama, it wasn't like a constant fighting. It was like we had our disagreement, and we got to a point where, like, it got so big that I was just like, I cut it off, and then we really didn't talk for, like, it had to have been like a year and a half.
We didn't talk for a long time.
Yeah, and so, which I do regret, but that's just, I'm not the kind of person that I'm always gonna attack somebody, or I'm always gonna confront somebody on something. I mean, I might get somebody in private and talk. Maybe back in maybe a year ago or 6 months ago, I was that person. But now I've gotten to a point where, like, if I have a issue with somebody, like, the first thing I'm going to try to do is get them in private to get the truth, because I don't ever want to react on assumptions either. So, but it's just one of those things where it's really hard to stay with it in terms of following every little person that does every little thing. But like you said, when somebody that is known by everybody, is liked by everybody, I mean, to hear that somebody would go after Carter, like, Carter's the last person that deserves it of all the people in CAW that do deserve it. Like, he's the last person that deserves it. He's probably the nicest person in CAW. So that really, I mean, on top of, just the, everyday people trying to become noticed by that, it's like, that really surprises me that somebody would actually go after somebody like Carter, who has never, I don't think he's ever really been mean to anybody. Anytime he ever says anything to anybody that might be hurtful, like he's not mean about it. Um, so that really is just like, I think that's the lowest point I've heard of a trolling attempt. Somebody to go after Carter. Now I know that Carter has been involved with some drama lately, but even at that, he's the last person that really deserves it, And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that nobody. I'm saying that there are people in CAW that, in my opinion, if this happened to them, I wouldn't even blink at it because I'll admit, and this, that I'm not a fan of everybody,
Nope.
I have my issues with people, and those people are aware of it. But Carter's not one of those people. So and whoever this person is that was doing this, like, what are you doing? Going after somebody who is nice to everybody, and when people when he was first coming into the because Carter was doing it the right way. He was coming in. And he was doing his league and doing the best he could, or at least the best that he thought he could. And then when he got the criticism, he took it constructively. Maybe it wasn't constructive criticism, but he took it that way. He took it the way that everybody's supposed to take criticism, and that's why he's so well liked by people, because he's not somebody that when people said this and that about WCW, he didn't react the way that everybody else reacts. To that stuff. And so, I don't know. I'm just really confused by that, just by that little fact. But in general, people just need to stop, because it hasn't worked in the past and it's not working now. And so, if we're still doing this in a year or 6 months, and people are still going to be trying to do it, so I don't think that this is ever going to end, this attempt, because that's just human nature. But it's not something that would really work.
Yeah, I completely agree with everything you said. Carter, I know you're around. Do you got your mic on you?
I do.
Anything you want to say in this particular topic?
Well, I just want to say that whoever's doing this, whoever's doing this kind of stunt, if you think it's going to stop me from doing what I love, from doing what I consider a hobby and a joy to do, then you're sadly mistaken. WCW is not going to go anywhere. Neither are we going to back down from this. So, whoever's doing this, you think it's funny. I don't think so. So, but whoever's doing this, you think you're going to try to make me quit, then you're wrong.
And if you think you're going to get away anything and call, I will find out about it. I'm motherfucking Smokey. And anybody around the call community can tell you I'm motherfucking Smokey, and I'm motherfucking crazy. I will find the damn truth on who's doing everything. And I will reveal it on my channel. So if any threat, if anybody wants to try something, I will find out about you, and I will expose your fucking ass, and I will not have any remorse about it. I do not have any remorse. I've been dragged in the dirt. Everything. And you think that freaking phases me? Really? Homer knows, Carter knows, Frank Dog knows, even H.A. Duke, Daniel, Super Dingoes, JJ, all of them. It's just a repetitive cycle. And there's always going to be a bunch of bitches running around talking about their mouth, There's always gonna be them people who be, I'm gonna end call. But we all gotta look at it like this. Okay, this is call. This is our hobby. We put a video game and then we record scenes like a WWE type show. We're doing this for fun. This ain't meant to be like, for attention for people and everything else. If you want to put your original call out there, trust me, I know I was one of the first original calls in CAW. I know. I don't try to brag about it, but that's the truth. And I use that for my advantage to tell everybody you don't got to hoard your call in order to get your call in popularity. You just got to promote them and do all the other right stuff you need to do to, Homer knows because Homer done the same thing with Mount Alcorn. We used to call Mount Alcorn Mad Acorn, for Christ's sakes. And he might even remember the, what was it, the YGLWO?
Yeah.
What was that?
It was the young, I'm trying to think.
Young Gun Live something.
The Young Gun Live World Order, I think, is what it stood for. It was you, me, and Wally, and we called ourselves that basically because we basically would we'd get on Xbox Live and we'd have fun and we'd fuck shit up, but we didn't take it too seriously. I mean, this is the whole reason why anybody, like Carter said, anybody who was in CW who's doing this, we're doing it because it's fun. And so, like, people who try to do this, it's like they take the fun out of it, And so, like, I mean, you gotta have fun with this, and I mean, maybe a version of fun is to do the stuff to people like Carter, but that's gonna end really quickly for you because nobody's gonna let that slide.
Yeah, the legends of call is people who work hard on this stuff and promote this stuff right and do all the right things to get the call out there. They don't be a bunch of bitch assness around call, like freaking trying to say they're going to end call, or they trying to say push me now, or I be fucking pissed, or I end call because you didn't push my call this way. I quit. I promise you, blah, blah, blah. It ain't about none of that. If you look at it, it ain't about none of that. I look at the past, and I look at every single argument I have had in the past 4 years. It was stupid. Every single argument I have got in was stupid. Even with you, Homer, it was stupid. Looking back on it, it was freaking past stupid.
It was. And I think the reason why I was able to easily get so past it when we started talking again, it was just the fact that because I remember exactly why we didn't talk for so long, and if you talk to anybody about if you tell anybody I didn't talk to somebody for a year because of this, they look at you like you were like, I mean, it's really dumb. So I mean, it was just really dumb.
It's all because of an accident on the HCW forums. I remember it to this day.
It was a combination of that and just some Xbox Live bullshit that was really dumb. But I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like you can't go back and prevent it from happening. But now that it has happened, we move past it and we do the best we can to just keep going.
Yeah, that's the best thing about call. People can fight and then they can make up, But instead, people go around and they try to act a bunch of bitches and they try to hide around a bunch of words or MSM saying they're gonna try to end call. That's just the main problem. I don't care if it's past, future, or present. Even to the future people who try to do this. This reason I made this video. I'm just trying to warn them that if you try to do something, one of us is going to get you. One of us, you can't get all of us. As Homer said and me said and Carter said, you can't get all of us. Once one of us is gone, the other one will catch on what you're doing, and we will destroy your fucking ass. And the other one will still be back. So think before you do something. Chaos, ESPN Kids, General Dingoes, I can't remember all the other ones. It's kind of confusing right now. But to all the future other ones, watch out what you say, watch out what you do, because we'll find out who you are. And then when we find out who you are, we will fucking destroy you like we fucking did Ryan, like we fucking did everybody else. If you want some, come get some. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say to end this thing. Anybody else got anything else to say? Homer, Carter?
Just have fun and be cool. That's all I have to say.
Carter?
Try not to make cars so serious. That's the best way I could put it. That's the best way I could say it. Try not to make cars so serious.
And try not to judge people on their grammar, whether what they do. Because people attack me on my grammar all the time. I get accused of it nonstop. Every time somebody hates me, somebody attacks my grammar. Don't be attacking somebody's grammar, but their knowledge on everything. Because people's knowledge is more important than what the way they speak, or if they're white, they're black, they Indian, they're green, they're yellow, or whatever color. Or whatever this ugly-ass picture freaking Homer has on his damn avatar.
Hey, man, don't be hating on Spike from My Little Pony. Representing them bronies.
Well, yeah, don't be hating on anybody just the way they speak. If they speak smart, if they try to speak real and they don't lie and they don't try to be a backstabbing bitch or whatever, then listen out to them. You know, me and Carter didn't know. I didn't really know Carter till about till a couple weeks ago, when me and him started talking a lot. And I actually got a lot of respect for Carter now, because me and him got a lot in common. We really close together. Me and him are like right next to each other, come to find out. And it's amazing how you can find out about stuff like that when you actually speak to people. So think before you start threatening people. And that's all I gotta say. This think before you speak, or before you write, in other words, because I ain't gonna be dealing with none of this other drama. As I said in my other videos, I still got another interview to upload on my smoke room with me and Carter and a bunch of other people doing a round table. But this is gonna be before that, so expect that other interview on the smoke room to be up. This is just a shoot. I just want to speak. I just want to have y'all on this shoot edition to speak about this, because I'm just tired of it, because it's got kind of old over the years, because I've been sitting around and I've been dealing with it for since 2007. And I just want to give future people the knowledge, you know, not to judge people because of the way they speak or the way they think, just the way they think. If there's going to be a bunch of trolls around, this future troll is trying to say they're going to end call, and don't be paying no attention to that. Carter, I hope to God that we figure out who been messing with your account, man. I really do, because you're my friend now. I feel like me and you are close now, and I will help you find out who it is, and we will find out who it is. But yeah, I guess we're gonna end this. Everybody else is quiet, so
I mean, I think we pretty much said it all. So
yeah, I think I said what I need to say. So I'm gonna end this right now. This is Smokey, and this is the Smoke Room Shoot Edition. Us against whatever. I figure it out in the topic section or whatever. It's us against the haters or something like that. But until next time, check out get ready for episode 11, where we do a shoot edition on Ryan Johnson, and then episode 12 is going to be me and Brent Harvinator sitting down and having an interview. So in the coming days, that's what to expect. I hope y'all stay tuned. Peace out, and I appreciate y'all too for coming on.
not a problem.